Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I'm SpaceNarc, and all I can say is wow, that was a Cuphead tournament and a half, wasn't it? I don't know how I'm going to live up to the hype of that. But anyway, I'm going to be running Squidlit, the All Bosses category. This game was made, despite its looks, in 2018 by two people, Alex Barrett and Samantha Davenport. It was made to be a Game Boy game, essentially. From what I hear, it can hypothetically be run on a Game Boy cartridge. And without any further ado, I'll get going. So time will start when my ink hits the start button. So 3, 2, 1, go. So here we are in our first little town here, where we're going to have to visit the baker. Because as everyone knows, the Squidlit's favorite food is muffins. We need to collect these muffins, and they act as our health throughout the run. Also, if you don't talk to the baker, then this door over here doesn't appear and you can't leave the starting area. So our main character's name is Plip. Plip has a couple movement options. You can move, you can jump, and you can ink in the air. With jumping, you only have one jump height, but you can cut it short by inking while you're in the air. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. So you can see as I'm jumping up here, I'm going to ink and cut my jump short so that I can land quicker and jump quicker. Little strategy we'll be using for the run here is damage boosts. You'll always get knocked backwards from your direction you're facing when you take damage. If you turn your body around at the last possible frame before taking damage, you'll damage boost through the enemy, and then you let go of the control stick and then press in the direction you want to go after an amount of time. You get used to the timing of it if you do it enough. So going into our next level here. In this level, had I talked to that NPC, he would have told me that I have to defeat all the enemies in this area. It's slow to talk to him though, so we won't do that. We'll just know that we have to destroy all the enemies, or we can't progress further. It's very important that we have full health exiting this particular part because of the boss. Let's see, this is the hardest boss in the game if you don't have full health. If you do have full health, you just hold right and shoot. And it's that easy. Short little cutscene here. Nice muffins placed just after the boss, help you refill your health. So in this level here, the prison, you'll notice I ink around corners instead of just falling off of them. Another property of the jump ink is that you fall faster after inking. So if you use your ink and cut the corners, you'll fall down quicker and be able to change direction and go the way you want. So we're going to come down here, grab a key from this sleeping guard. Rescue this guy here who's going to give us another key for this door. We'll continue on our way. I'll take a moment to talk about the spawn mechanics of the game. So almost every enemy in the game, before it's on screen, is like a spawn item that sits wherever it's supposed to start in the level. And just outside your visible range is, you can think of it as like a grid, and when that grid passes over a spawn item, then it spawns the enemy. So we're going to do little things to manipulate enemy spawns and make them appear where we want them to. For example, those two ghosts there had a space between them I can move through. If you go up those stairs in a different way, they may not. Coming up to our second boss here, that I cannot pronounce the name of to save my life, so I'm not even going to try. It's essentially two spirits in a lamp, and we'll hopefully not see them at all, because I'll hit them too fast. believe every game has a counting boss. You just count 8 steps, and then you can hit the boss. And then at the end, you want them to move over by the door so you can exit quicker. Going through our second little town here. Just on our way to the hardest level, which is the library. Or most people think it's the hardest. I agree with them. So we're about to see our exception to the rule for the spawns. In this is the second of the two levels that we need to destroy all of a certain type of enemy in. And that would be, in this case, the books. But the books don't follow the normal spawn mechanic. They spawn on the entrance to the level and start their motion, so they're on a pattern. And that's what I feel makes this the hardest of the levels, because if the pattern screws up, then it'll be a lot harder than what you're used to. So far, so good for this, though. Another thing about the books is if you reset the level, the books don't respawn, so it's hard to practice the level. Whereas other enemies respawn when you reset. So we're almost done here with the books. That book can be the slipperiest of them all. If you don't get them, you end up bouncing off of them. We defeated all the books. This guy gives us a key, lets us pass through to the next level. This level is a lot more the same. We don't have to kill the books in this one, though, but they do follow the same spawn mechanic where they just spawned in as soon as I entered. I'll talk a little bit about the difference between all bosses and any percent. This is the all bosses category. In any percent, the game has a glitch where you can infinitely jump into the air if you pause and unpause at the right timing and use your jump, and you can jump over the library, this part, and the next boss that I'm about to face. Essentially cutting this level out. So this here's an interesting boss, Grimoire. It's just a big book. It has 4 attacks. So the attacks are written on those pages that I was just inking, and if you ink the attack that it was about to use, it can't use it. And if you know the pattern, we shouldn't see any attacks. The only attack we might see is the bomb here, and that's because at the last it's 50-50, and you can choose between inking out the B attack or the bomb attack. And if it uses the B's, it takes a lot longer of an animation, but the bomb animation is pretty quick. Heading up the stairs now to our last level. We just caught a glimpse of our final boss, Squid Squat, there in the last cutscene. The giant dire moth. This level is going to introduce another little mechanic where we get enemies to hold switches for us. Mostly those little white guys that slither around, these guys. They can't be killed permanently, thank God, because if they could, and you accidentally killed them, you'd softlock. I'm also going to want to take some damage on my way through this level. And that's because on the final boss, I'm going to take an intentional death to refill my health. So I want to enter the boss fight with a muffin left. Or half a muffin. So there's a quick kill for the final boss. I'm not going to try to explain it, because it's weird. I'll just let it speak for itself if I can pull it off. And here we go. I didn't pull it off. So I'll go for the backup, which is take the laser, which only does half a muffin of damage instead of a full. Hit the cauldron. So normally the final boss kill, you want to... The cauldron, when you hit it, has a knockback, and the... actually, just a second, we'll get ready on time. Time will be in a minute. I'll hug him. And time. There we go. So as I was saying about the final boss kill, you want to use the knockback make the knockback from the cauldron and the knockback from hitting the boss fight each other, and then it'll hold you in place by the cauldron so you can keep hitting it. But yeah, that's Squidlit. Thanks everyone for coming to watch. It's a really good beginner speedrun. If people want to try out the game, it's available on Steam and on the Switch.